Hey everyone. So welcome back to Westside Academy, aka www.westsideonline.com. So we're just moving on from I said to you we're talking about that gap that can exist between knowing who you are and who you should be in the context of where you are or the level that you are or you're trying to get. And we spoke a bit about how there is often a gap in that place, and we spoke about the warning signs of those gaps existing. And like if you're not performing well, if you're moody after you don't achieve your stats, your game, and we spoke about you don't know who you are outside of sports. Another way of looking at it is you don't have much of a life outside sports. And setbacks, making your value, determining your value based on your setback. Those are kind of the warning signs of you being broken. And if you don't deal with those things sooner or later, they become like a cancer that they establish themselves, and the gap between who you think you were, who you think you are, who you need to be, and who you need to be just becomes wider and wider. And the wider that gap is, the harder it is to fix. We spoke about that, and we started to speak about the solutions to that, how you can build a solid identity that travels with you and enables you to stay standing. And I said that there were four anchors that I feel can help you to do this. And I spoke about the first two being your values, what your personal values within sports are, what your values as an athlete is, and making sure that you have solid values, because the values will help your well-being, will help your psychic. It will help you to find fulfillment and peace wherever you are. A lot of athletes sometimes have troubled minds because you're not necessarily achieving what you like or what you think you should be achieving, and start to feel down, etc. And going on that path towards brokenness that I just spoke about. So your values are key, is a key anchor. The second thing is your relationships, and making sure you have relationships or you develop relationships in a way that people see you beyond the scoreboard. People see you beyond the stats. Having people in your life that see you as a whole person and know that sports and athletes is just a part of you. It's not all of who you are. And that needs to happen within and without sports. It's important to have solid relationships outside your world of sports, because believe it or not, there is a world outside sports. And it's also important that you have those type of solid relationships, even with people in your immediate environment. So in the sporting world, having relationships with people and in your setup that don't just see you for your stats, actually see you as a person, and you have some control over how you develop those relationships. And I talk a lot about that in some of my other videos and books. I go a bit deeper into relationships within the sporting context. Then in today's video, the final two anchors that I think are important, regardless of the level, but if you're going through transition, you're changing levels, and in terms of building an identity that stands the test of time and that travels with you, regardless of where you're going, are your interests. What do you care about outside sports? Myself as an athlete, I kind of feel I ate, I breathed, I slept basketball. It was like 24/7. If I could have married basketball, I would have married it. That's how deep my affection was for my sport. Maybe there are others of you that can relate with that, but it took a while. But then I did have other interests. I started to develop other interests, like I liked reading books. So when we're on the road, I would always have a book that I'm reading. I, enjoyed, pharmacy when I became a pharmacist, when I became a healthcare practitioner, I enjoyed that. And most important of all, I enjoy spending time and appreciated being able to spend time with close friends and family. Because I spent so much time on the road and in sporting environment, I think it helped me to appreciate more. So those were some of the things that I had interest in outside of sports. And why is it important? Because it's important that you can take your mind off things. It's important that you can find joy in other things, so that if things are not going well in sports, it doesn't mean that you have to become depressed and your whole whole world is falling apart. The world is a big place. And like I said, there is a world outside sports. Even though you need to be focused and you're doing that, it's important to find a balance. And that balance can be helped by having interests outside of sports. Um, the final thing is your story. Um, as an athlete, oftentimes you can be very self-critical of yourself, your performance, who you are, sometimes even being feeling ashamed, feeling, maybe you're in an environment where you just feel there's not a lot of hope, there's not a lot of opportunity for you to get beyond. And I think it's important that you can appreciate your journey wherever you are in the journey and appreciate your story because your story is unique to you and your journey values spoken about. If you have solid relationships in and outside sports and you have interest, then regardless of what's happening in your world of sport, those things will help you to stand the test of time and see that yes, your story may not be the same as someone, for example, many of you know, I've done a lot of stuff. Westside Foundation and Roots are in Nigeria. The infrastructure, the challenges there are very different from even the UK, where I kind of, had my early sporting journey and where I played. And to other countries like America, developed countries where you have infrastructure, a lot of things set up. That's not the case in Nigeria. But it doesn't really matter because your story is your story. And regardless of where you're coming from, be proud of your journey, be proud of your story by showing up, by making sure you stand firm on your values, have good relationships and interests, and you will achieve through sports. That I know for a fact. I've done this for 7 years, and I know that people that are committed to the process will achieve. And achievement can come in different ways, shapes, and form, but you need to be open and you need to be proud of your story and embrace the journey, is what I would say. If you're able to do these four things and make these four things your anchors, then regardless of what level you're at, regardless of what transition you have an identity that is going to stand firm and stay strong and stay strong. So I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to sort of tweak the question I asked you at the beginning. And at this point, I want you to take a moment and think if you never reached the next level, whatever that may be for you, whether it be high school to college, college to the pros, club level or pro to national team level, whatever level it is, or sports stopped for you tomorrow, who would you still be? And would you still be who you think you are? There are no wrong answers. And I just want you to answer it with 3 words. Take a moment in your own space and time and do it, and do it, and write those words and reflect on those words. So at this point, I'm just going to talk very briefly a little bit more about what we're doing here. So think about this video, these 3 videos you've listened to, and some of the other episodes we've done. And I just want to ask, if all these videos did was help you separate your true worth and your true value from the statistics and the results that you're getting today, or give you a sense of self that enables you to survive and to get past setbacks and to overcome challenges and barriers, prepare you for transitions, whether it be up, down, sideways, out, retirement, and make you a more stable and ready athlete. Do you think this video and the other things I'm going to talk about now, would it be worth it to you? How much is it worth to you? What is it worth to you? So the reason I ask that is because at this stage, there are 2 options you have. You can take what you've learned here, run with it, and do nothing more, because being aware is the first step to the solution of your problems as an athlete. It's the first shift and it's the start of better things and better days ahead. The second option is sports, and a career in sports is about time. It's about making use of the best time. It's about getting to places and getting to your destination and achieving your goals within a defined time. Timing is everything in sports. So the second option is whether you want to go deeper with us. We have a series of paid workshops. I think the ones that are likely to be of most value if you're listening to this is either the program that we have for those that want to be elite players, or those elite athletes, or those that are elite athletes and looking to get to the next level. And then we have the international program for athletes that aspire to be international athletes, or athletes that are already performing at that level. Westside is an organization that fortunately has been able to evolve over the years, starting from grassroots up. And so we have the experience and the insight to be able to deal with athletes across levels. So if you want to go deeper, if you want to accelerate your progress, because it is about accelerating and being able to do more within defined periods. And, I'm saying all this based on experience. I've seen coaches go from nothing and from coaching on the street, literally, to coaching for national teams. I've seen, players, athletes going from places where they don't even have a court to the NBA, and, there's a reason why that happens. And it's all about, and I believe, and that's why I believe very much so in mentorship. And to be more precise, structured mentorship. Having the right people around helps you to go faster, quicker. Having structured mentorship, I believe, accelerates that process even more. Most athletes don't achieve their full potential. And the reason is a lot of athletes don't have the insight. They get that insight and the things that I'm talking about later than they should. If they, like, I use myself as an example, if I had all this back in the day, I'm sure a lot of the negative stuff I went through, I wouldn't have gone through it. And I'm sure I would have achieved a lot more at a quicker pace. And I don't want you to go through that. I want to see athletes on a personal level. I want to see athletes achieving their full potential, being able to make the most of their God-given talent and being able to shine. It's great when you see athletes performing, you see their talent shining through. And if we can make that happen more consistently, for more athletes, then I think that the world of sports benefits. We all benefits from the joy in seeing that. So for me, sitting here doing this, and for Westside Academy, it is about your success. Our success is based on the success of those we mentor and those we work with. So like I said, just to finish off, let me not digress. There are two options: do nothing, listen to our free videos, tap into our free resources, the basic program, less than a couple of dollars, and it's a step and it's progress and you're doing something. Or you can be more intentional, more committed, and go deeper by joining one of our paid workshops for the elite program or the international program we have. Visit our website at www.westside.online.com /academy, where you'll see the different programs, what they cover. And if you're part of our WhatsApp chat group and you have any further questions you want to ask, then feel free to ask and we'll get back to you. Let's work together. Let's build a system that's unique to you. Let's help you find that identity, that thing that enables you to remain standing regardless, and develop a plan that ensures that you remain standing, but you're also able to get to the next level and achieve big at the next level, regardless of where you're coming from. So, that being said, um, I'll leave you to reflect on that. But I just want to close by saying that, by asking you now, based on everything you've learned here, whether you feel that you know who you are and you're solid in who you are, regardless of what happens next. None of us can predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I can ask you this question. Are you confident that you know who you are and you'll be able to remain standing regardless of what life throws at you? That has to be the ultimate goal. So I want you to just think about 3 words to answer that question, and feel free to share those words to make a comment. If you want to drop a personal comment or share those words, that would be really good, because again, I think we can also learn from each other. And like I said, if you have any questions and if they're private questions, you can send us a DM and we will put all the questions together without necessarily identifying the people that asked the question. And we'll do a special session where we'll look to answer as many questions as possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this few videos, this series and this video. Where in episode 3, Beyond the Stats, we've spoken about how you can remain standing. Yeah, until next time, then. I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to talk about. I have a feeling it might be to do with consistency, but stay tuned, join the chat, and you'll find out. I'm going to close now and say bye for now. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I would welcome feedback. Till next time. Bye bye.